You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Business Access TV welcomes you to the launch of Weddings JA. I'm your host, Amita Prasadweb, and today we're here in the gardens of the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Please stay tuned for highlights.
So Shangri-La Flowers and Gifts is a wedding company and an all-rounded wedding company. We're located in Montego Bay and Ocho-Rios. So what we do is wedding decor, wedding florals, wedding rental, and also wedding planning. So really a one-stop shop for your wedding as well. So you guys, this event we thought would be a perfect way to come into the Kingston market since we don't yet have a store in Kingston.
It's the launch of Weddings JA. What are your thoughts thus far, turnout and the other booths?
Well, actually, it looks really well. I'm glad at the turnout, despite, weather had set to be rainy. So I'm glad with the turnout as well. And the booths are actually looking really well. So we're happy that we had sponsored this amazing event.
So talk to us about Tent City. What is it that you guys do?
We're a tent company, and what we do is rent different tents for different occasions, weddings, party, graduations, you name it.
Talk to us about the relationship between Tent City and Weddings JA.
Well, we're one of the sponsors, and they call us and we partnered with them, and that's why we're here today.
What's next for Tent City?
Well, what's next for Tent City is that we have new and upcoming tents, and for the December period, as we're here now, this is one of our new tents. It's a skylight. We have it here just to show the customers to see if they'll take it, because it's kind of different, you understand? And just to showcase our new tent.
I think when people think of tents, they think of one type of tent. Can you give us some examples of the different types of tents that Tent City offers?
Well, our tents are white, really, and mostly high peak, and we have different sizes. The sizes vary from 10 by 10, and we can go as far as 40 by 100.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome fashion from Lust Yash Design DJ. Let's go. Make some noise for Lust Yash Fashion. So where can we find you? Take it down.
All right, so you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Lust Yash Designs, or you can email us at lustyashdesigns@gmail.com. Number 873-7319. Thank you.
Talk to us about Sparkles Productions.
Well, we're a production company, but we do other stuff as well. We do weddings. So not only do we do the sound and the flooring and the lighting and the trussing, we do decor, we do flowers, we do invitations, we do photography. So we are a one-stop. So I know a lot of people think Sparkles Productions, they think of big stage shows, they think of music, they think of sound. But we do have a department for weddings. And because we come with everything, we are able to give better costings.
You're here today as a sponsor at Weddings JA. Talk to us about that relationship.
Sure. Well, Renisha called me and said, check out our new site. And I did, and I liked it. I like the idea of everybody in the wedding industry coming together. And so when she called me and said she's doing a launch, I said, yes, call me in. I'll be there. I like it. I like the networking. And I like to see what everybody else is doing.
All right, so talk to us about your business, 81 Sound Entertainment.
All right, my business. Originally, I'm an event promoter. I've been so for probably like the better part of 20 years. Made the decision about 3 years ago to branch out into service provision. Here am I, 81 Sound Entertainment. So I've used all the experience that I've garnered in my almost 2 decades and turned it into service provision and, and to provide quality service. That's basically it.
Talk to us about the relationship between Weddings JA and 81 Sound.
All right, Weddings JA now. When they originally started their promotion, I liked the idea of having a wedding directory, and I like the concept of launching that directory and their service in the form of a wedding show. And I approached them and said, hey, I'm willing to work with you guys, and they accepted, and I'm gracious for their acceptance and for the opportunity, and we worked together and we created an experience. As you can see by the turnout, they did a wonderful job where marketing is concerned and the layout and so forth, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to work with them.
Home is where all the sweetness, silliness, and beauty of life happens. Discover your style and express yourself with furniture from the Ashley Furniture Home Store. Visit any of our 2 locations at Ligony Kingston or Fairview Montego Bay. Find the most exquisite range of furniture in varying styles to suit your needs. So tell your story with elegant and affordable lounge, bedroom, dining pieces, and more from the Ashley Furniture Home Store. Here at Ashley, this is home.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Now, the aim of this competition is called Professing Your Love. It's called what? Professing Your Love. What is it called? Professing Your Love. It's pretty simple. The couple that professes their love the best through kiss wins. All right, so you're going to all start after 3. So face your partner. All right. Take on a hand out on a pocket. Remember, you know, and this is going to last for 15 seconds. Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm trying to be as well as you. Your dresses look stunning. Don't they look stunning, ladies? Come on, make some noise, ladies. All right, so tell us more about your company and where we can find you and all your contact information.
All right, so it's Bliss Bridal Boutique. We are located at 7 to 9 Arden Road in our new big, nice, fabulous location. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook at Bliss Bridal JA. Our telephone number is 876-622-2547, or for ease, it's actually 876-62-BLISS.
All right, talk to us about Victoria House Events Limited.
All right, Victoria House Events Limited is located at 11 Lindsay Crescent. What we do all year functions, but we mainly do weddings. We do from a pin to an anchor. The only thing we don't do is find the gentleman, but we find everything else: the dresses, the cake, the food, the pastor, the location, just about everything.
Today you're here at Weddings JA launch. Talk to us about your experience here today.
It has been an awesome day. Beyond my wildest dream. We had so many persons coming in. It was just busy, busy, busy all day, all morning. People just keep coming. but it was good. It's a good experience. And for sure, we'll be in this next year.
WeddingsJA.com is Jamaica's premier online wedding directory, offering an impressive list of over 1,000 Jamaica-based wedding vendors. She has a bachelor's in entertainment management and a master's in marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the founder, the CEO, the woman herself, Renisha James. Make some noise. She's the reason why we're here today. And to have the symbolic launching of the website, we're going to be having the cutting of the ribbon. Are you ready? So we're going to count down from 5. And you're going to count with me. Ready? 5. Shout it. 5. Round of applause, round of applause. All right, Renisha, tell us more about the vision behind WeddingsJA.com.
Well, you know, people are always getting married, and any bride-to-be will tell you that planning a wedding is no easy feat. So, this website was created to make it absolutely easy for the bride to find everything that she could ever need. I mean, we have honeymoon, makeup artists, venues, photographers, decorators, rings, dresses, DJs, MCs, you name it, everything is on WeddingsJA.com. So ladies and grooms to be, you can, in the comfort of your bedroom or your living room, just go online and find everything that you're looking for with one click. Isn't that amazing?
It's the launch of WeddingsJA.com. Congrats, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling so good.
How did the idea come about?
Well, I saw that there was a need for brides-to-be to find everything that they really needed to plan their wedding successfully with ease. And so I thought that this would be a really, really good thing to introduce to the market to fill that gap.
The day is almost over. What's the feedback been like so far?
It's been amazing. People are like, is this going to be an annual event? This is so awesome. I really had fun. Like, it's been so much positive feedback, so I'm really happy.
Now that your website has launched, what's the next step?
The next step is for wedding businesses all across Jamaica to get listed so that the brides-to-be and the grooms-to-be can find them easily, because that's what WeddingsJA is all about. In addition to brides signing up on the website, we have discounts from our vendors that brides can also get when they sign up. And it's really just to let everyone know that we are open for business. Log on to the website, brides, find everything that you need, vendors, get listed.
And there you have it, the launch of WeddingsJA. I've been your host, Amita Prasad-Webb, and thank you for tuning in to Business Access TV, serious about business.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
looking for a sleek, sporty, and spacious vehicle, then the C-Class may be just for you. Business Access TV is here at Silver Star Motors for the C-Class Mercedes-Benz facelift launch. I'm your host, Amita Prasad Webb. Please stay tuned for highlights.
Welcome to the launch of the new C-Class. The new look C-Class is the biggest model update in the car's history, with 6,500 updates and new additions. We are going to show you 3 different models, and I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome. So, the Mercedes-Benz, best or nothing. And in order for us to keep that true, the brand has to keep improving. So, we're in the 5th generation of the C-Class. It's the most successful model for Mercedes-Benz. And the C-Class has been comprehensively optimized and resharpened and combines emotionality with intelligence. What do I mean about that? One of the features that we're going to tell you about today is that the vehicle has air balance. We offer this as an option. You can choose a fragrance that makes you feel comfortable in your car, whether you want to have a soft mood or you want to be energized. The design of the exterior and interior benefits are stylish. The vehicle's new appearance is defined in particular by its modified front end and design of the headlamps and taillights. High quality sculpted details underline the sophisticated look and feel. LED high-performance headlamps and the multi-beam LED headlamps with ultra-range high beam are available. The interior is sporty and has a premium look and feel. New interior colors and trim elements have been introduced. So today we'll actually be launching and showing you one of the new colors. I won't spoil the surprise yet. The C-Class also adopts the control and display concept from the current S-Class and comes with the option of a fully digital instrument display and 3 individually selected display styles. The C-Class has touch-sensitive controls in the steering wheel, which makes control of the functions easier. And they do this by a touchpad. Now we have everybody on board today, so I want you to challenge Thomas, Cara, Homer, Jason, the entire team to telling you all about the features. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
We hear that it's sporty, spacious, and sleek, but what else sets this vehicle apart from the others that we may come across?
The new look C-Class has come out with a lot of new features, including new colors, new interior trim elements, a fully instrument digital display, a larger media display, and multi-beam LED headlamps as an optional feature.
So talk to us about the demand for these high-end vehicles.
So the demand for luxury vehicles in Jamaica is high. We're very impressed, and we're hoping that the C-Class will hit the market strong and that the Jamaicans will love the new features as much as we do. In fact, our C43 AMG that we launched today has already been sold. The new look C-Class comes with an optional headlamp feature for LED high-performance headlamps or multi-beam LED headlamps. It also comes with a diamond grille, which is beautiful and makes it a classy and sporty look. The new look C-Class comes with several new trim options, including the one you see in this beautiful C300. The C-Class also comes with a larger media display screen, as you can see. The steering wheel also comes with touchpad and control buttons to make functions easier when you're driving. The new class has an option for a fully instrument digital cluster, which, as you can see, gives it a sporty, upgraded, fancy look. One of the cool features of the new C-Class is the energizing comfort control, where you can select ascent, music, and seats based on your mood. Refresh, vitality. Our C-Class also comes with an anti-dazzle feature, which is for the rear view mirror and side mirrors, where if a car shines a light from behind you and it hits the mirror will tint so you only see what's directly behind you. This is such a useful and safe feature for driving at night.
Driving a German whip, driving a German whip. Yo! If you see man driving a German whip, blacked out window leaning back, see man driving a German whip, look like a ball of peas and that.
Mr. Stevenson, you've had previous Mercedes models. Speak to us about that compared to this. What would you say sets this one apart?
So what sets the C-Class apart is that it is actually the best-selling Mercedes of all time. So Mercedes have a lot of love for the C-Class. As you heard earlier, there's 6,500 new parts for the car, and that is the biggest overhaul for this car ever. So I think this car, they gave it a lot more love than previous ones. And the tagline for this car is never stop improving. And that meshes nicely with the Mercedes-Benz tag, which is the best or nothing. So you can expect to see a lot of really cool little features in this car, such as the fragrance that you can put in the car. There's 64 different types of ambient lighting. So this car is very much tied to the individual. It gets you in a mood, it gets you in a, I don't know, just wraps you up in a cocoon of awesomeness when you drive a car like this. So I think that that's what they've done with this car. They've made it intimate.
Let's talk price points and our payment plans available.
So we start at 11.4 for the C180, which is the entry level. And we do have financing packages. We have our in-house financing, which is Simpson Finance. Currently, they've got the best rate on the market at 6.99%. So now is a really good time to actually get in and get a financial package through Simpson Finance, because I think it's the 6.99% will last till the end of next month. So it's a good time to buy a C-Class or a Mercedes.
All right, so you've just had your C-Class Benz facelift launch. What's next for Stewart's Automotive Group?
Well, the group is always trying to bring something new to the market for the Jamaicans, because we love our people. The closest thing in mind, we're coming out with 2 new models at Mitsubishi, the Traj and the Montero Sport. They should be coming early next year, and we're very excited to expand the models that we offer. I think the Jamaican public will be very happy with them as well.
In regards to the launch today, what would you say is your favorite feature of the new C-Class?
Well, I really like the updated interior, the new screens. It really brings a fresh look and it keeps up with the competition. The competition is always evolving and they have great vehicles, so it's good to see that our manufacturer is keeping pace and outdoing them, in my personal opinion.
That's it from us here. Until next time, I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb, and thank you for tuning in to Business Access TV, serious about business.
This Week Abroad.
66 doctors voted for the strike vote.
Bahamian doctors threaten industrial action.
We want to make Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean know that the FACT Center is open for business, and it's open for business here at CMU.
The Caribbean Maritime University being positioned as the MIT of the region.
Iran's lawyers urge judges to move quickly to resolve what they say is an American violation of international law.
Iran asks the U.S. to pay up. Hello and welcome to another episode of This Week Abroad. I'm Javon Keys. Let's go around the region. We begin in the Twin Island Republic, where Minister of National Security Stuart Young is assuring that the influx of Venezuelans into the island is not a crisis. TNT News' Sherilyn Lewis tells us more.
The Minister of National Security said he isn't certain of exactly how many Venezuelan nationals are in the country, but said his ministry is managing the influx.
The answer is there is an increased influx of non-citizens into Trinidad and Tobago. This is not only an issue for immigration, it also deals with customs and excise. We need the TTPS there to perform, ensuring safety and security on some of the other ports of entry into Trinidad and Tobago. So when you're referring to San Fernando, I assume you're referring to the King's Wharf area and other areas down there. It is something that we are discussing. I would not say for a moment that our immigration department is not up to the task of performing the duties.
Minister Young told the Standing Finance Committee, with technological improvements coming on stream, it will be easier to account for how many Venezuelans are here.
We're trying to introduce more use of technology to ensure that it all feeds back into the main server system, etc. So we are working on it, and at this stage, it isn't a crisis. The $48,000 figure is the official figure from the UN as to the number of Venezuelans who are in Trinidad and Tobago in that immigration status. It may be more, it may be less.
As for those who overstay their time, he said they are usually found.
We are looking very closely at it. We're in constant conversation with the Venezuelan authorities as well. There are a number of Venezuelans who we've picked up for finding that they've overstayed the length of...
Sherilyn Lewis, TTT News.
Still in the Twin Island Republic, workers employed at the Trinidad and Tobago's Electricity Commission T&TEC protested this week to show solidarity for some 200 workers who are being threatened with sanctions for taking time off on September 7, which was also dubbed the Day of Reflection and Rest.
It is almost as though the Commission, in their own insecurity, has decided that they're going to ignore the collective agreement and started to persecute workers. T&TEC has been systematically suspending workers for taking a time off on the 7th of September. All the workers who have been so far suspended have had very legitimate reasons for staying home. In fact, one worker this morning, because there's no school, brought his children to work.
The unions are hoping that the matter will be amicably resolved and the sanctions dropped. Consultant physicians in the Bahamas are threatening to take industrial action to protest current working conditions. Some 110 doctors voted in favor of a strike earlier this month. However, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is hoping that the doctors do not walk off the job.
Had a very productive meeting with the doctors, my colleagues. Before I left, I had spoken with the president. When I returned just last week, I've had a productive meeting with the group. And I'm convinced that just like me, our first and foremost responsibility and concern is the health care and the quality of health care of the Bahamian people. And we will always, including myself as a doctor, doctors will always put patients first.
Meanwhile, the island's Minister of Labour said he expects the matter to be resolved soon.
I have received an official report from the director, Mr. John Pender, who has informed me unofficially that 66 doctors voted for the strike vote and 3 voted against. I will get the official report from the Director of Labor sometime today or tomorrow, and then we will engage with talks with the Doctors Union. Mr. Pender is actually speaking to the President today, Dr. Monroe, to set up a schedule of meetings to see if we can bring a resolution to all of the issues.
In another round of discussions to settle the wage impasse, the Guyana Teachers Union GTU met with the country's president, David Granger. However, after the meeting, the teachers highlighted some issues that weren't brought up in the meeting with the president.
They were not even raised on Friday. Otherwise, we would have resolved them. So it was quite astonishing that these matters, going back to the appointment of an arbitrator, these matters didn't come up at all. So I was quite surprised that matters that we assumed had been settled as of Monday found their way into the columns of the newspaper on Wednesday.
President Granger says if the issues raised in the media resurface when he next meets with the teachers union, he is committed to having them addressed. Meanwhile, leader of the opposition party PPPC, Bharat Jadhago, says he is pleased that the union met with the president.
I'm glad that the president met the teachers. We've been advocating for this for a while. So we do hope that, that there is an agreement that will be struck by the two parties that will keep our teachers in school.
When we come back, the Caribbean Maritime University offers globally recognized training in robotics. More TWA on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop, or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas Mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa-la-la-la-la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
We are back with another exciting, innovative and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It's season 12 and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Welcome back to This Week Abroad. The Caribbean Maritime University is now being positioned as a leading regional institution offering world-class training. Just 2 weeks ago, the institution opened its FESTO authorized and certified training center in Industrial Automation and Mechatronics FACT Center. The center, which is internationally certified, is the only one of its kind in the Caribbean and Latin America, offering training in a number of areas. Here's more from BATV's Jamila Maitland.
Innovations, technological advancements, and practical skill sets all happening at the Caribbean Maritime University. The institution recently opened its FESTO authorized and certified training center for industrial automation and mechatronics only 2 weeks ago to the tune of $1.4 billion, the only in the Caribbean and Latin America. The center, funded by German multinational industrial and automation company FESTO, provides training in pneumatics, pressurized air, hydraulics to be used in mechanics, agri-foods normally used in the food and beverages industry, and the newest trend in automation, Industry 4.0. Renee Flores is Executive Director of the FESTO FACT Center.
We have the top of the equipment to provide industrial training. Nobody in the Caribbean, nobody in Central America has this equipment. The important thing is that we can receive at the same time more than 60 persons to provide training in different kind of technologies. And it is important to mention that we have Industry 4.0 equipment here. That means we are the benchmark in industrial automation at the moment and for a while.
The executive director, who gave us a tour of the facility, says they've already trained Pepsi-Cola Jamaica before the center was officially opened. He told us that several other businesses have indicated their interest.
A person from maintenance departments, production departments, from Pepsi-Cola Jamaica, for example. We will start to provide training to Hard Trust, to some instructors of Hard Trust. We are talking with some ports in the Caribbean. They are interested to send their workers to receive training about hydraulics and pneumatics mostly. And of course, we are providing training to students of CMU.
Meanwhile, Vice President of Technology and Innovations at the CMU, Professor Noel Brown, says they're changing the perception of the university from one focused mainly on maritime and logistics to a major center for technology and innovations. The first batch of FESTO FACT students started in September.
Students would be able to not only, they would have their classrooms and then their labs will be conducted here in the FACT Center. So that would give them a hands-on, as to what they're learning in the classroom. By the end of what we're trying to do, especially for the engineering students, is by the end of their graduation, they would have already gotten at least two certification, two of the FESTO certification.
For BATV News, I'm Jamila Maitland.
And don't go away, we go further abroad in a bit. But first, here's a look at how some of the major international commodities ended trading this week. When we come back, Iran asks the US to pay up. International stories are next. Please stay with us.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
It's Season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show, and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
This is Weekend Business Report. Economic windfall.
Unsecured loans.
Alleged corruption.
Follows the closure.
If they made this investment.
Brokers strive to increase revenues.
He sought some answers.
Financial meltdown.
Here are the week's final numbers. Here's Garth. News Roundup.
Camille, it's back to you.
That's Weekend Business Report with me, Keneal Gale. Saturdays and Sundays.
Welcome back to This Week Abroad. Iran is calling for the U.S. to hand over some $1.75 billion in national bank assets seized by American courts. The U.S. is, however, asking the International Court of Justice, ICJ, to dismiss the case. Al Jazeera's Zain Basravi has more.
After listening to U.S. legal counsel spend hours accusing Iran of masterminding decades' worth of global terrorism, it was Iran's turn to address the International Court of Justice at The Hague. Complicated legal arguments boiled down to one thing. Iran's lawyers made the case that the judicial, legislative, and executive branches of American government had together fabricated the legal backing for a glorified smash and grab to take $2 billion belonging to Iran's central bank.
These authorizations were given to satisfy a domestic agenda and designed by U.S. government to facilitate and expedite the seizure of any available Iranian and Iranian companies' assets.
They also argued that blaming Iran for terrorism in their opening remarks was a political stunt by America's lawyers to distract the court from the merits of the case before it.
The United States approach seems to be that there are some states that it considers so bad that they should not be allowed to put their cases and to answer the defenses of the other side in a court of law. Well, that approach does little for the rule of law or to encourage the peaceful settlement of international disputes, and it is legally untenable.
Iran's defenders used the phrase international law dozens of times, pitching the idea that internationalism is more important than an America First approach, especially in cases being heard at the World Court. It was a stark difference from the U.S. challenge to the court's jurisdiction in the matter and demands for a dismissal on day one of proceedings. Lawyers made the case that a 2016 law that allowed U.S. citizens to sue foreign powers over attacks on U.S. soil was specifically written to hurt Iranians economically, and that protection for Iran's central bank under the 1976 Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, known as FSIA, still applies.
Mr. President, members of the court, the United States has gone from being the model nation for the law of state immunity and respect for separate juridical status to an outlier state that has departed from its founding vision of the 1976 FSIA.
It's taken 2 years to move this case from the docket to the courtroom, and Iran's lawyers urge judges to move quickly to resolve what they say is an American violation of international law that has already cost Iran billions of dollars. 2 days of rebuttals begin on Thursday. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
A Saudi Arabia journalist's mysterious disappearance and possible murder in Turkey is causing many countries and business leaders to reconsider commitments they have made in Saudi Arabia.
The mysterious disappearance and possible murder of a Saudi journalist in Turkey made business executives around the world review their commitments in Saudi Arabia. Richard Branson has halted discussions with Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund about a planned $1 billion investment in Virgin space companies and suspended his participation in 2 advisory boards. His move was followed by news that Dara Khosrowshahi, Uber's chief executive, and Viacom boss Bob Bakish had all reconsidered their attendance at a high-profile Saudi conference later this month. Media companies CNN, The Financial Times, The New York Times, as well as reporters and editors from The Economist, CNBC and Bloomberg are pulling out of the Saudi Future Investment Initiative, known as Davos in the Desert. At the same time, the diplomatic row between Saudi Arabia and Turkey might affect the economic ties between countries. Hilal Kashan, professor of political science at the American University of Beirut, said,
Turkey is in a very difficult economic situation, and the Saudis understand this. Turkey also has difficulties with the Trump administration. And the sanctions that he imposed in recent weeks, so Turkey does not want to add to its travails. Turkey wants to minimize them, especially since the Saudis have important investments in Turkey, and of course the balance of trade between the two countries tilts in favor of Turkey.
Over 500,000 Saudi tourists visit Turkey every year.
The world's longest flight took off this week as Singapore Airlines relaunched a route between Singapore and New York. The route was formerly deemed unprofitable due to fuel costs. However, with the new fuel-efficient Airbus A350 aircraft, the airline is hoping that things are better this time around. Here's more.
A historic takeoff. The world's longest non-stop flight is back in the air. Singapore to New York via the Pacific Ocean. A more than 16,000-kilometer journey completed in just under 18 hours.
I fly for fun. I have a passion for the aviation, and I'm an aviation enthusiast. And I'm part of this group, which is called First to Fly.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do on 18.5 hours. So I'm not sure. Watch all the movies I can, I guess.
To help pass the time, there's 7 weeks' worth of in-flight entertainment. The ceilings are higher and the windows larger, all in a bid to make the experience less stressful. Another concern for marathon flights is fuel. After 9 years in service, Singapore Airlines discontinued this very same flight route in 2013. It was deemed unprofitable because of expensive oil prices. Reopening the service with brand new Airbus A350 ULRs. That's the acronym for ultra-long range. The carrier helps the fuel-saving models will make the route worth their while. SQ22 is now the longest flight in service after Qatar's Auckland to Doha flight and Qantas Perth to London.
And that's it for this week abroad. Thanks for going around the region and across the world with us. We're back next week with more regional and international business stories. But please, join us Mondays to Fridays at 7:30 p.m. right here or live on our Facebook page for BATV News. I'm Javon Keys. Have a great week.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Violence is bad. Violence against our innocent little children is terrible. Pretending not to notice when we know or suspect that a child is suffering is awful and morally wrong. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, there can be no keener realization of a nation's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Think about that for a second. I have a voice. It's one of my gifts. I intend to use it on behalf of our children. No more violence against our children. Make your move to stop violence against our children right now. No more. No more. No more.
It's another episode of Home Sweet Home with me, your host, Candy. Last week we brought you part 1 of our series where we're tracking from concept to completion the Riches Chateau development. We had a chat with Raymond Grant, project manager for the development, and now have a look at our talk with Gary Lee, materials manager. Now, what exactly does your role entail?
My role entails to make sure that all the material for construction, for the construction site, is on site for the project. We make sure that we have a 2 weeks material list ahead of schedule. Not only that, is that we have to make sure, based on the size of the project, that the delivery is on time, and also when the delivery is delivered. We don't have delivery in lunchtime because that's slow production. When a guy go for lunch, he don't want to break from his lunch to handle that. Also, we make sure that not only as a construction manager, I have to make sure that all the tools that use is in good order.
So as far as the materials are concerned, what stage are we at now?
Based on material, we're going to pour slab, and that will take almost like 150 cubic tons of concrete. So that's where we're at now with that. We're doing a 9 units. We're estimating it that it will finish in October of this year. The overall blocks that we needed to do this entire project was 30,000 blocks, okay? For 1 week, we used like 300 bags of cement each week. For the steel, they said that it would have been like 45 tons in total, but we might go over that because that's just an estimate. We make sure that columns and stiffeners are put in proper place, and sometimes that is not on the plan, but as you go through the project, you will see where it's necessary to make adjustments, so that's when you need more material. So giving you, say, 50 tons of steel will complete this project. We can go above it as well as it can be less. Right, so, but that's what we estimate as 45 tons of steel.
What are some of the logistics in terms of the delivery of some of the different types of materials that you guys use?
We have tradesmen such as plumber, electricians, and mason. So based on the logistic, we make sure that we stay ahead of the plumbers, and we have that listing. The site is very small, so based on what they're going to use, we make sure that they have it available. And as you can see, you walk around the site and see how small it is, as the sand to delivered cement, so we don't stock too much material on site. So that's where we have to think about the logistics of it. For foundation, we prep the site as for like bottom boards, and we have the surveyor comes in, mark out the spots where the building is going to go. We have like a backhoe that will come in and dig the footing. Then from there on, the steel is installed and we got that poured. Then the block work is from there. I am also responsible for making sure that all of these things are put in the right place and coming out of foundation, setting the guys them to put to work and what tasks we have for the week we try to accomplish. Yeah, see if you can get the prop, move and replace it. All right, 20.
How easy or difficult is that?
Well, it's a challenge at times because some people intend to go off the plan, and as well as coming out of foundation is very tricky because if once you start bad, then the project it will go bad. So you have to make sure and be on top of it.
Don't go anywhere. Home Sweet Home will be right back.
taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It's Season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show, and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV and at your fingertips. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Welcome back to Home Sweet Home. We're well on our way with discussing the Riches Chateau from concept to reality. Now, when we spoke with project manager Raymond Grant, he mentioned that professionals are integral to any development. And joining me now is master electrician Richard Miles. So, Mr. Miles, other than for
were in very close proximity. So whereas we could have pushed along, worked a lot longer days in terms of the hours and in terms of the noise factor, the nuisance, we are mindful of the neighbors, so we restrict our activities, curtail them to reduce the impact on the neighbors, of course. The second challenge that I would say we have, of course, is the constraint of the size of the site. So we are not able to bring in as much materials as we can. We still operate on a just-in-time method. So materials come in pretty much just as they're about to be used. So like now, we have to bring in still some cement, we still have to bring in some steel, we still have to bring in sand, we still have to bring in gravel. But because the building is up now, we are restricted on our space. So we have to work the details of those out in a timely fashion to still keep things moving. So, for example, when the tiles are cleared from the wharf and so on, we will have to have some of the stuff stored at another location close by before we can actually get them in on the site. We have had a little bit of unfavorable weather over the last few days, but of course, we find ourselves working on other areas that we can work on. whenever it rains, and it rains, slows us down a little bit. So basically we are working through the little issues that do arise in construction from time to time. In terms of the sales, we have sold more than 50% of the units so far. And of course, we are in what I would call cruise control now for the duration of the project. It is a bit exciting because we have brought in our interior designer to bring a different element, as I had said before, to our finishes, to work with the purchasers in tailoring the units to their tastes. So when you talk about the kitchens and the details, we talk about the type of tiles that we're going to bring in and the size of the tiles that we're bringing in. We're talking about the paint selection for the rooms and the lighting fixtures. All the details, the finer details now, we are in the process of fine-tuning those. We have shipped a lot of the materials in already, and we will continue to work on the finer details of those. So, of course, we have just about 4 units left that are available, and we're moving along smoothly where the sales are concerned.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Home Sweet Home, where we've been keeping track of the progress of the Richesse Chateau from concept to reality. Tune in next week for another episode.
I'm Richard Biles, CEO of Sagicor, and you're watching Business Access.
Fighting for the right to stay white, South African town holds on to racist past. Weekend Business Report starts right now. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Keneal Gale. Thanks so much for joining us this week. Apartheid has been over for almost 3 decades, but one South African town is longing to be whites only once again. We'll have more on that in a bit, but right now, here are some of the week's top stories from the BATV News Desk. An upswing in economic risks due to rising trade tensions and debt levels has prompted the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to cut its forecast for world growth for 2018 and 2019. The IMF released its World Economic Outlook report on Tuesday. The report said global growth is projected at 3.7% for 2018. That's 0.2 percentage point below the April 2018 World Economic Outlook projection. Meanwhile, the IMF growth forecast for Latin America and the Caribbean region has also been revised downwards. Nordia Francis Williams looks at that aspect of the report.
The IMF says growth in Latin America and the Caribbean is projected to decrease from 1.3% in 2017 to 1.2% in 2018 and to rise to 2.2% in 2019. This, the multilateral says, reflects a more subdued recovery than envisaged in the April 2018 World Economic Outlook. Mexico's growth is projected to increase from 2.0% in 2017 to 2.2% in 2018 and 2.5% in 2019, supported by higher U.S. growth. The growth forecast is, however, lower than expected in the April 2018 report, reflecting the impact on investment and domestic demand of prolonged uncertainty related to trade. Brazil's economy, on the other hand, is expected to grow at 1.4% and 2.4% in 2018 and 2019, respectively, up from 1% growth in 2017, driven by a recovery of private demand as the output gap gradually closes. After growing by 2.9% in 2017, Argentina is expected to contract by 2.6% in 2018, a large downward revision relative to the April 2018 forecast, reflecting recent financial market disruptions, high real interest rates, and the faster fiscal consolidation under the Exceptional Access Standby Arrangement approved in June. The economy is expected to contract by a further 1.6% in 2019. Growth of 3.2% is expected over the medium term under the steady implementation of reforms and returning confidence. Meanwhile, Venezuela's economy continues to decline for the 5th consecutive year, following a 14% drop in 2017. Real GDP is projected to shrink by 18% in 2018 and a further 5% in 2019, driven by plummeting oil production and political and social instability. In the meantime, the IMF says the Jamaican economy is expected to grow by 1.2% in 2018 and 1.5% in 2019. Trinidad's economy is expected to recover from the recession this year, with projected growth of 1.0%. However, the forecast sees contraction in 2019 with a 0.9% growth. Robust growth is expected in the Eastern Caribbean. St. Kitts and Nevis should see growth of 2.7% in 2018 and a further uptick in 2019 with 3.5% growth. St. Lucia is predicted to grow at 3.4% in 2018 and 3.6% in 2019. Grenada's forecast is for 3.6% growth in both 2018 and 2019, while Antigua and Barbuda's 2018 growth forecast is 3.5% and 3% in 2019. Barbados, which recently signed an IMF agreement, is expected to see contraction in its economy over the next 2 years. Growth is being projected at negative 0.5% in 2018 and negative 0.1% in 2019.
In the meantime, consumer confidence is at a record high in Jamaica, while business confidence remains stable. This was reflected in the results of the third quarter survey of business and consumer confidence. Ashana Small has the details.
The latest figures show consumer confidence up from 159.1 points in the second quarter to 172.6 points for the third quarter. This is the highest it's been in the survey's history. Managing Director of Market Research Services Limited, Don Anderson, says this increase in consumer confidence is because consumers had a positive outlook for current and future job prospects. This figure moved from 37% in the second quarter to 41% this quarter.
Consumers point to what they believe will be more jobs. They see the construction sector, they hear talk about the BPO sector, and they believe that coming out of those two, they will in fact be able to get a job sometime.
But even though the job expectations for consumers had increased, Mr. Anderson points out that the number of people who believe they'll get a job is still less than those who think they won't get a job.
I mean, as we made the point, we're moving from 20% and 25%. When you get up to 41%, that's a huge jump. But you have to remember the flip side of that, that 59% don't believe that jobs are going to become plentiful.
And unlike the previous quarter, Mr. Anderson says consumers now believe they'll benefit from the growth in the economy.
The current data suggests that consumers are now believing that it will happen. And that's a major change between the second quarter of 2018 and the current quarter. And they're seeing it because of the construction sector and family members getting a job. And you know, they think kind of in front of their faces, so they see their family members or friends they know get a job which can last for 4 months. That makes a big difference for them, and they're now beginning to feel that it will trickle down to them somewhere along the line.
Meanwhile, the Business Confidence Index remains the same as the previous quarter, at approximately 140 points. The majority of businesses surveyed believe the time is right for expansion.
Businesses are bullish about investment. They are very bullish about investment. They have been for the last 10 quarters. Despite that, they have a very cautious view about where the economy is going, but they're very bullish about investment, expect their profitability to be consistent, but at the same time are very cautious about going forward.
And the survey also showed that businesses are more concerned about the instability of the Jamaican dollar than they are about crime. Here's more.
For the first time this quarter, the devaluation of the Jamaican dollar has surpassed crime as a major deterrent to investment. But Don Anderson, Managing Director of Market Research Services Limited, which conducted the survey, said the government should not let this information lead to complacency with crime fighting.
They would be ill-advised if they then assume that the crime factor is not a big factor. Because the data does clearly indicate, and I want to make the point very clearly indicate, that crime is still a big deterrent. It is just that the devaluation of the dollar, people see for this particular motive, but both of them are big elements in the destabilization and process of investment. It's a very critical factor.
However, President of the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, Larry Watson, argued that the dollar's devaluation showed up in the survey as a major concern to businesses because of the time the survey was conducted.
In July, it ended the month at 1/30/16. Now remember, the survey started July 6th to September 25th, and at the end of August, the rate was 135.48. And within that time, on July 12th, it was 137, and August 15th, it was 137.20.
He commended the measures taken by the Bank of Jamaica and the Ministry of Finance since.
The dollar moved too quickly to keep them comfortable, and that shattered the confidence because the objective of having people, trying to get people to save in Jamaican dollars and not US, had moved. So I think that then at that particular time when Don was doing the survey, shattered the business confidence, not shattered, it disrupted or moved the focus of the business confidence to the exchange rate. However, I think as you see, the Bank of Jamaica, the Ministry of Finance has been very vocal, in how they are managing it.
Moving on now, some 27 years after the abolition of apartheid, there are still communities of white South Africans who refuse to mix with their black fellow citizens. It's the case in the town of Orania, where the only language spoken is Afrikaans, the tongue of the first Dutch settlers. Here's a special report from France 24 English.
An air of nostalgia looms over this small town of central South Africa. Here, most residents are Christian and everyone speaks Afrikaans. Today, 1,500 people live in this Afrikaner-only town. It even has its own currency and its own flag. Founded after the collapse of apartheid 27 years ago, figureheads of the racist regime are part of Orania's scenery.
Orania, Afrikaner settlement where we can create our own future, be self-sufficient. And now in the New South Africa, we have a black majority that's also not always very kind to the Afrikaners, especially. So the idea was to have a place where we stay out of this.
An enclave for Afrikaners, the descendants of Dutch settlers. Farmer Anton Enslin moved to Orania 5 years ago and says he was evicted from his previous home. When his land was claimed by black South Africans, he accepted compensation from the government.
As soon as the land claim was published, the intimidation started. My father gave me the advice and said, Anton, let us sell the farm because we have to let go some of the land. We can't keep the whole South Africa for us. But now, all of us here is feeling safe. We are happy.
Anton might be happy, but he isn't reassured. He's concerned that he could be evicted again. The government plans to accelerate redistribution of land to black South Africans by expropriating white farmers. This time, there will be no compensation. Orania's residents are fearful their heritage could slowly disappear.
Je moet mij nou een beetje wijs wat je bezig is om te doen en sê as ek jou kan help met iets, wys my wat
In this school, the students have two different syllabuses, the state's official program and Orania's version.
It is geography and history in one book from the viewpoint of the new regime, which is also subjective. This is more from our viewpoint, so they can compare the two and they can make their own opinion.
The town's syllabus makes no mention of Nelson Mandela, who they say isn't part of their history, a stronghold for Afrikaner culture. A group of workers who stopped by at this supermarket saw the town for the first time.
I think it's not a problem they are living alone, but we also feel like we have to live with them because we are all human beings.
No, it's actually sad for me to see a place like this. It's very small and live alone.
So is this the refuge for nostalgics of apartheid or the reflection of an unease among certain Afrikaners today? This couple is considering moving here and the town is providing them with a house for a week before they take a final decision.
25 jaar gedoen. Ja. Dis al 28 jaar wat ek daar gebly het. En maar dinge raak maar net moeiliker vir ons in die sin van om werk te kry en
The local council has offered to assist Leonardo with setting up his electrical company. He says that the laws aiming to increase black employment have turned against white South Africans.
Where I'm staying, it's, to get work is so hard. And I think that's mainly because of my skin color.
It's getting worse and worse. I mean, like 15 years back, I went to the shop, I walked, I did what I want. Now I don't go alone anymore.
Last year, there were 57 murders in South Africa every day, a number that has been on the rise for the past 6 years. And meanwhile, Oranye's population grew by 10%.
Company news comes up next, then later, Port's future precariously perched on a Brexit deal. The details in the final segment of the show, so stay with us.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa-la-la-la-la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Stay current and gain more information on the ever-evolving industry of real estate on Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Welcome back to Weekend Business Report. Here's this week's company news.
On-time taxi passengers will now be able to pay their fares using NCB's mobile money solution, Quisk. NCB says the move is timely as both companies seek to increase the safety of passengers by allowing them to go cashless to pay fares. On-time passengers will be able to pay drivers using their cell phones with a text message notification being sent to the driver's phone when the transaction is complete. Mayberry Jamaican Equities reached a milestone with comprehensive income surpassing the $6 billion mark at the end of the 9 months ending September. This comes just months after listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Mayberry Jamaican Equities says they're grateful for the support during the IPO and are looking forward to further success and positive results. Shareholders at the St. Lucia-based company Sterling Investments Limited voted in favor of a 5-to-1 stock split in its extraordinary general meeting on Monday. Sterling Investments chairman Derek Jones says the split will make it easier for investors to buy and share stocks in the company. The shareholders also approved an increase in the company's authorized share capital. This was increased from a little over $1.8 billion to $2 billion and 10,000 preference shares each valued at $10,000.
Let's now take a look at the closing numbers from the major stock markets around the world. When we come back, more of the week's top stories from the BATV News Desk. So stay with us.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Welcome back to Weekend Business Report. Before year end, the new concessionaires of the Norman Manley International Airport, NMIA, will begin operations. The government and the Mexican-based company signed the concession agreement on Wednesday. Javon Keys was there.
Full throttle has been engaged and preparations for takeoff have begun with the public-private partnership between the Norman Manley International Airport through the Airports Authority of Jamaica and Grupo Aeroportuario del Pacifico, the Mexican-based airport operating company. They have signed a concession agreement which will see them operating the Norman Manley International Airport for the next 25 years. After a lengthy divestment process spanning years and different administrations, the Norman Manley International Airport is officially off the government's hands. Grupo Aeroportuario del Pacifico, GAP, was announced as the preferred bidder on September 11, and the contract to seal the deal signed Wednesday morning. After the deal was sealed, Minister of Transport and Works Robert Montague said the government was pleased with the agreement, especially as the deal is in keeping with the administration's growth strategy.
The selection of GAP as the preferred bidder for Norman Manley's concession marks a significant step towards Jamaica scoring another successful PPP. This too comes on the heels of the completion of the Kingston Container Terminal and the North-South Highway. The Norman Manley PPP affirms the government's commitment to facilitating private sector investment to develop world-class infrastructure, which is a critical element of the government's economic growth strategy.
Minister Montague pointed out that through the agreement, the government will receive a percentage of the revenues earned. The deal also sees the airport's new operators being mandated to execute some improvement works to include runway expansion. The upgrades are expected to cost some $110 million.
The Cannabis Licensing Authority, CLA, is considering waiving licensing fees for small farmers. Here's more.
Entering the legal ganja industry is very expensive. The licenses alone will cost you up to $10,000 depending on the category. Growers' licenses cost up to $3,000 an acre. It's caused small farmers to complain that they're being left out of the lucrative industry. But Ms. Henry says the CLA will consider waiving the license fees on a case-by-case basis.
There are also provisions in the current law where waivers of license fee or deferment of the payment of fee may be applied on a case-by-case basis for applicants who need it most.
As Jamaica moves to regulate the industry, concerns have been raised that only the big players in the field will benefit. But Henry says her agency has plans for small farmers too.
The matter of the inclusion of small traditional farmers in the medicinal industry has not escaped the government. As we speak, plans and programs are being put in place to address same. These plans will impact the economy, the local communities, as well as the way of life of the people within those local communities.
The CLA grants licenses to individuals over 18 who wish to plant, distribute, manufacture, or export ganja. Ms. Henry says since its inception in 2016, they've received over 500 applications. 400 of those applications are now being processed.
They're calling themselves the MIT of the region. Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, has opened its FESTOFACT Center to provide basic to advanced level training for students as well as professionals in industrial automation and mechatronics within the region. BATV's Jamila Maitland visited the brand new billion-dollar facility and now reports.
Innovations, technological advancements, and practical skill sets all happening at the Caribbean Maritime University. The institution recently opened its FESTO authorized and certified training center for industrial automation and mechatronics only 2 weeks ago to the tune of $1.4 billion, the only in the Caribbean and Latin America. The center, funded by German multinational industrial and automation company Festo, provides training in pneumatics, pressurized air, hydraulics to be used in mechanics, agri-foods normally used in the food and beverages industry, and the newest trend in automation, Industry 4.0. Renee Flores is Executive Director of the FESTOFACT Center.
We have the top of the equipment to provide industrial training. Nobody in the Caribbean, nobody in Central America has this equipment. The important thing is that we can receive at the same time more than 60 persons to provide training in different kind of technologies. And it is important to mention that we have Industry 4.0 equipment here. That means we are the benchmark in industrial automation at the moment and for a while.
The executive director who gave us a tour of the facility says they've already trained Pepsi-Cola Jamaica before the center was officially opened. He told us that several other businesses have indicated their interest.
A person from maintenance departments, production departments, from Pepsi-Cola Jamaica, for example. We will start to provide training to Hard Trust, to some instructors of Hard Trust. We are talking with some ports in the Caribbean. They are interested to send their workers to receive training about hydraulics and pneumatics mostly. And of course, we are providing training to students of CMU.
Meanwhile, Vice President of Technology and Innovations at the CMU, Professor Noel Brown, says they're changing the perception of the university from one focused mainly on maritime and logistics to a major center for technology and innovations. The first batch of FESTOFACT students started in September.
When you come back, Port's post-Brexit future. More WBR after this break.
Taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
Welcome back to Weekend Business Report. Concerns are growing in Portugal about a possible Brexit fallout. Wine growers in the country are worried that sales of port could be hit by the UK leaving the European Union.
In the Douro Valley in Portugal, winemaking has been a way of life for centuries. The rocky soil and extreme variations in temperature mean that grapes grown here are very sweet, perfect for making port.
Port is good because it's from here, from this region. This is a unique region. The people are very important, the climate, the soil.
The EU's geographical indicator laws help to protect these winemakers' livelihood, meaning only fortified wine that's produced here can be called port. This prevents the market from flooding with industrial-scale, low-cost knockoffs.
If it wasn't for wine, there would be a crisis, both for our employers and for us. Without wine, the Douro region would be on its knees. Wine is our wealth.
Britain is Portugal's second largest market for port, worth around 50 million euros in trade a year. Its popularity dates back to the 17th century, when conflict with France meant French wine was off limits for English drinkers. But Brexit could change that. The UK hasn't yet confirmed if it will abide by the geographical indicator rules after it exits the bloc. Experts say it's unlikely the EU would agree to a deal that didn't include the measure.
I don't think the Europeans will accept, the EU will accept a Brexit deal which does not protect feta cheese, Parmesan cheese or champagne wine. Also because the entire final Brexit deal will need to be ratified by national parliaments.
The policy has been a flashpoint before. The US says the measures amount to trade barriers. For now, it's another bargaining chip on the table, as the UK and the EU finalise their divorce agreement.
And that's our show for this week. On behalf of the entire Weekend Business Report team, I'm Keneal. See you next time.
My name is Herbert Chung, Executive Chairman, Honeybun 1982 Limited, co-founder.
I'm Michelle Chung, CEO of Honeybun. Well, Michelle Chung is first and foremost a Christian, and of course we always give that first. And then I'm wife of Herbert Chung, who is my partner in the business, and we have 4 children. So those are the things that first of all define me. I'm from Kingston. I was born in Kingston. I grew up in Kingston, and I went to Mona Preparatory School. I then went to St. Peter and Paul High School, which is now Campion. A lot of people nowadays don't know that, but at that time it was a girls' school. I remember myself as being a quiet person, very quiet. I always wanted to be a teacher, always wanted to be a teacher. In fact, when I came into the business, I recognized that I can teach her too, so that made it good for me. I have 3 sisters, and when I was about 15, I have a brother. So my brother was born at that age, and my sisters and I were regular family. Mother and father were there. My 2 grandfathers are from China, actually, and my 2 grandmothers are Jamaican, mixed Jamaican. So it makes me very mixed. When my brother was born, I was 14 years older than him, and I took on a very motherly role. So that was inherent in me. I think the whole teacher and mother thing were significant in my childhood.
I was born in Westmoreland, which is, at then was really a lovely parish. It was like maybe a Peyton place. I mean, you really, you're rich in the sense of growing up with a lot of friends and people around you, and out there was really, it was the farming belt, sugar estate belt, so you had a lot of all different kind of people you grew up with. It was far from school as how my parents wanted their children to go to school, because apparently, I don't know what they had in their mind, but I'm from a family of 7, and apparently my parents wanted all 7 to be at 7 different schools all over the island, so it was, and I ended up had to come to Kingston. I went to Campion College, and at that time, Campion College was a private school, just being adopted in the government system, but you still had to do another exam, even though you passed for government scholarship, that a government aided scholarship, but you had to do another exam to enter Campion too at the time. I remember independence. Independence stand out quite a bit for me because my mother was involved a lot with independence, and I remember, I don't know if you know that Great George Street in Sablamar. If you know the street, if you've been there, was supposed to have been the widest and largest street in Jamaica, even bigger than King Street, as though King Street name says King, but Great George Street was actually supposed to be the biggest street in Jamaica. So, and I remember that street being decorated with banners and flags and things like that. That took months to really sew them, because yeah. And my mom was a big part of that.
One moment from my childhood that really stands out was my understanding of poverty. I remember there was a lady who came to our gate. I was quite young at the time, and she was begging money. And it was kind of like a first experience of someone really in need, because I didn't grow up in a situation where I was surrounded by very poor people. And I really had a lot of compassion for her. And I remember I went and I gave her almost all my savings at the time. So it has stayed with me all this time. And I think maybe I always think that that's where my blessings come from. So that moment stands out. I lived in Canada for about 5 years, going to university there, where I studied psychology and studied math as a minor. Being in a Canadian environment was new, cold, very cold. Dying to come home, standing at that bus stop every day waiting on the bus was difficult. But it gave me a sense of understanding global concepts about transportation, order, business systems. I did a temp job, which included working in the hospitals, working in the banking industry. So I got a number of different experiences working in different places, which really benefited me.
After Campion, I went to, CAS, which is now UTEC, and did, I was in construction. Started business, but my family was in also construction, so I figured that maybe best someone knew something about construction, so I went over to construction. And then after 2 years of that, going into the 3rd year, the exodus or migration started, that I had to go. And the one-way ticket is that serious one-way ticket. There's no ticket coming back. You know you're leaving and you're not coming back. That's what it was like. So maybe one day, I don't know if it ever happened, that you have to buy a ticket when you're traveling and you buy a one-way ticket and know that wherever you end up there, that's where you're going, you're not going back. I mean, maybe for holidays, yes, but yes, migration is something, although it's a great experience, that it's something that has maybe helped mold me as a person too also. But it's like a whole, it's like a degree, a university degree, how to do it, you know. It's hard. You're growing up with all your friends, you know, and then you just have to just pick up and leave. Going to Canada was a whole new ball game of experience for me, because I took on a lot of responsibility going to Canada, a lot.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
Are back with another exciting, innovative and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Going to Canada was a whole new ball game of experience for me. Like we had to stop in Miami first, and buying some clothes, we never know how cold Canada was going to be. And then reaching Canada is something else again, you know, where it was just myself and my brother, who were not married at the time. And the usual Chinese custom is when the parents or family is moving, who is not married, you usually, you know, migrate or go with the family. Everybody else had their own priorities in terms of their family. So going to Canada still, you know, was a big experience for me. And I think it has made me who I am still. Because I took on a lot of responsibility going to Canada. A lot. Mrs. Chung came into my life at a very sad and opportune time for me still, you know, because I met Mrs. Chung after my father died, about 2 or 3 months after. And my father and myself were there. I mean, you know, I really got close to my parents and my father, you know, for the time I've been in Canada. And he used to help me with I had a business there also. You know, he used to help me quite a bit. And when he died, I decided I'm going to, this is enough for me, you know. I have done what I have to do for my family and move on. And I was taking a break. when I met Mrs. Chung. It's about taking a break in the sense that I wanted to give up what I was doing and start a whole new life, you know. So, yeah, that's when I met Mrs. Chung. So it was an opportune time for me meeting somebody like that.
So here were these two Jamaicans in Canada, and we met. And after a while, he decided he wanted to come back home.
I had to come back to Jamaica, and she was there for a while. And then after I realized that, yes, it's time, you know, spending enough time in Canada, almost 8-10 years up there, and I decided that Jamaica is where I wanted to come back. And when I left, and those years, you know, there's no text and write, and there was a phone call, but they're very expensive in those times, so we had to write letters. So I decided that I had to get on a plane and go do what I had to do, and decided to tell her that I'm coming back, I am back there for her.
When I returned to Jamaica, my husband and I both returned to Jamaica. We weren't married as yet, but before we were married, I taught at Campion College. For a very short time, I taught math. I absolutely loved that period of my life when I was teaching. I was teaching 2nd and 3rd form math, and it was very rewarding. It was during my teaching years that my husband and I purchased Honeybun, and we started to manage it, so I had to leave my teaching job.
So after I decided that we're coming back to Jamaica to live, well, a lot of people have always asked me to start a pizza business because pizza was very new to Jamaica at that time, you know. I think I came back just before Shakey's started, who was another franchise that came here. But so I knew the pizza business. Honeybun was a pizza place at the time. We sell quite a bit of pizzas. So I looked into the company. Well, I also knew the people who had owned the company, and they had a number of companies that they were working with, and I think they were just a little tired of Honeybun because it takes a lot of hands-on work to be there all the time, you know. So how it got started is when I came back, got married, and then my wife was teaching at the time. So I did what I had to do in terms of loans and everything, and got myself together and purchased the company.
So we bought Honeybun, borrowed some money, bought Honeybun, and at the time he said he needed me to come and work in the business, and you know, the natural Chinese Jamaican, that's a natural progression. So we were both working in Honeybun. And the thing about it that was very interesting at the time was we discovered that we had a very different approach to how to manage the business. So it was at that time that we kind of separated and joined together and conquered, because he used his strengths and I used mine. And thank God they were different, because I think that has contributed a lot to our success. I had a lot to learn in a very short period of time. I remember going to my accountant and learning how to write up cash books, manual cash books. Now we have Quicken and we have all sorts of accounting systems. Do the payroll. So those were challenges in and of themselves. But I always loved math, so they weren't too much of a challenge. And there were just several challenges. I remember one day we took an order for a wedding cake, and the decorator resigned just before the wedding, and I had to learn quick, just like Matrix, quick, how to decorate wedding cakes. So there were lots of challenges wearing different hats. You had to be everything in this new business. You weren't like the accountant for the business, you were just everything for that new business. You had to know how to make the pastries, manage staff, you had to learn about the equipment, so it was a lot. It was a lot.
It was some of the biggest challenges from the time of Honeybun. Myself and my wife having Honeybun is finding a home. We have always rented place, and every time we rent and we start to settle in, we have to move. So it took us, I would say, it took us maybe 20 years before we could, 20-something years before we could buy our own place. And you know, we always keep on renting and moving, and we always have to move. Something happening where the people need the place. But that has always been a major challenge for us, you know, having a home. Now it's a little different now. We have found a home. You know, when we just got this company, I had some family in England who, I remember he was telling me, and he was quite a bit of a marketer in England at the time, and he said, well, the name is such a nice name, you know. Sometimes I feel the name is sort of soft in the sense that honey and bun, but let me tell you, the company, it has grown in the sense that people, it's a household name as it is now, and we really have worked on it. The entire family has worked on it.
Honey Bun is truly now a family business. It started off as a family business with my husband and I, but our daughter worked in the business in marketing for several years. That's Crystal Chung. And now 2 of my sons work in the business. One manages operation and the other one manages distribution and sales. And they are very different. They have very different skills again. So that also helps the business a lot. What I do hear a lot from our workers is that they feel like this is a family. They feel a part of the family. You have some workers who they call Chung. So it's a family business, not only for the children working in the business, but I think there's a family feel here all the time. And we enjoy that, and we've really hung on to the hope that as the business grows, the culture remains. And it has. I challenge you to ask some of the workers. It's still a very family feel. The first obvious thing that a family business contributes is succession and succession planning. So you have children who grew up in the business. I remember at 12, some of my children had to come down here when we just put in a night shift, and I was like, okay, now we need you to make donuts, you know, and they never forgot it because they were like, really? It's like, yes. The staff didn't want to start working on night shift. It was new. Not many companies in Jamaica were doing it, but we had to increase our capacity based on our demand, and the children, we rounded them up, we rounded up some of their friends. So they have been integrated in every aspect of the business, and unlike me, they won't have to learn everything from scratch when they're in their early 20s. So the succession planning is a significant part of it. What they can take for granted, knowing in the business, someone else can't take it for granted. They also have been a part of very high-level business meetings that they would not have had the opportunity to be involved with working in another company. So we're not trying to indicate that they must be the future leaders of the business, but they know that's a real option for them. And then when the company went public, it was also a part of succession planning, because it is a lot better to have sound governance and a formal board in a business for it to survive than to just have children who may make up new rules and have different policies that they want to change. So the business of the family in a structured business has been tremendous for us, and it will carry us far in the future. What drives me has a lot to do with being very focused. If you ask people who know me, I'm very focused. I have a dream, and it's like I don't sleep.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
the little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa-la-la-la-la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
The proudest I've been at the company, I would say twofold, in the sense that when we bought our first property for the factory, that's one, and also when we went on the stock market. I was a little nervous at the time because, you know, you sort of, when you're on the stock exchange, you know, like I say, your books are open and everything, but we being the family being upfront with everything, we didn't think about that anymore. We just went forward, and it has been very good for us in terms of branding and the rest of, you know, the exposure we have gotten and things. And you never believe how much things happen, you know. Banks call, you know, no, before you used to call a bank, banks are calling you now to lend you money and things like that, you know. So it's a little different.
What drives me has a lot to do with being very focused. If you ask people who know me, I'm very focused. I have a dream, and it's like I don't sleep. I just need to keep dreaming and finding the ways in which to accomplish my dreams. And sometimes I have to shuffle and come again. So I'm always motivated because I'm always focused on the big picture, always.
To see the family getting together, and not only the family, but the people at work who every day they see you and we talk, and we you know, just moving around them and seeing that their livelihood, they have a livelihood too. They can go home and they can you know, they have a job. And you know, the company growing in the sense that sales and everything else growing with the company. That drives me quite a bit.
I've probably gotten a lot of advice, but I'm also told I'm a little bit stubborn. So while I carry the advice within me and live it, I don't remember exactly what it is. But I think one of the things that I have always worked with is, one of the advice I gave myself during challenging time was what I termed C2O, challenges to opportunity. Every time you have a challenge, just convert it into an opportunity. And so it really helps me every time I'm challenged, whether it's physical, mentally, spiritual. I always try to look at challenges as if I can get around this, I can be at another level.
Well, there's one particular one, but you know, and actually too is my father-in-law who said it to me. And he always saying, you know, say, walk for nothing better than sit down for nothing. And I a number of times that I'm at home and I get up and go somewhere or do some things. A deal come up or something happens where you know you can advance yourself in life. So you know, sometimes in the sense that in Jamaican terms, you know, don't sit around. If you can maybe go somewhere with somebody that you're not going to make any money, but something can happen in your favor. if you don't have health, you make yourself comfortable, but not extravagant.
Wealth means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear about wealth is wisdom. I think wealth is wisdom because if you have money and you have no wisdom, you can easily lose it. So, you know, in the Bible, Solomon's gift was wisdom, and with wisdom you can earn a lot of money. So that's one thing. But wealth also engages how you use your money, what you use it for. And to me, wealth is not necessarily material. Wealth is about being able to do the things you would like to do, but also to make other people's life more comfortable. So many times you would love to be able to help people more, but you say, oh boy, you know, you don't have the cash to do it. I'd love to be able to have enough cash to help people as I go along, to make my life comfortable naturally, and to be able to have a more meaningful workplace for my employees in terms of their well-being. So that's what wealth means to me.
Violence against women is a violation of human rights. Its impact ranges from immediate to long-term physical, mental, and sexual consequences, sometimes resulting in death. It negatively impacts women's general well-being and can prevent us from fully participating in society. Be a better human being. No more violence against women. No more.
Ensuring a better future, that's the aim of Anderson Child Management, a non-charity organization founded by the visionary and dreamer Anita Anderson. The name clearly bears her last name, but what could have inspired her to start this non-profit organization?
How we come about with the name of Anderson Child Management was from the Child Support Receipt Book, and with that I had to get my name to originate it. The Child Support Receipt Book is made to support both parents in transaction and to ensure there is transparency with the financial obligation. And it's a further reference and also for proper record keeping where parent is concerned. What inspired me to start this was a vision. Yes, I get a vision from the Lord how to make this book. And with my personal experience, I was able to bring it out into the market. The response out there sometimes, especially when I go to the courthouse to sell these books, is like parents, wow, oh, you come about this, oh, you made this very great idea, you come at the right place selling this book and stuff like that. And it inspired me. It really inspired me to know that I can be able to do something. The Lord has given me this vision to do something that really help parents. Father, sometimes at court call me, impressed with the book. Yo, come sell one of them books, they don't call you. Don't know, you know, man, not get no receipt and all these things. So, you know, I smile and it really built me. My day, like if it's a very big court day, which is on a Wednesday, if it's a very big court day, I sell like sometimes like 20 books, 30 books. You know, and some parents feel bad in purchasing the book, and some really don't have the money. So I try to make the book as low as possible where cost is concerned. Some will say, go to the father, see over there, so I can buy one from you because when I spend the money, now give me the money, you know, and stuff like that. And some I would tell them, some, why I put an example sheet in it, because some really don't understand how to fill the book out, so that's why they won't purchase the book. So when the example sheet in it, they are able to follow.
It takes courage and determination to sell these receipt books at the Spanish Town Courthouse, and so when Anita ventured out on her first day to sell these books, she didn't know what to expect.
How do I feel? I was excited, can't wait, nervous. How do I sell these books in the market? What would I say to parents when they ask me, how do I come about selling this at the courthouse? What's the purpose of it? You know, how would it help them? You know, so I explained to them as best as I could, and you know, they understand what I'm saying, and some of them say, oh, I always have nothing to prove that I'm receiving money, so this is really a great and awesome idea. For father, he came from all the way in Linstead to come to family court, and unfortunately, he really had no money, and what he has no receipt to show that he gave the mother the money on spot at the family court, and I blessed him with one of that book. And he was like, wow, you know, Mom, God bless you, God bless you. You know, it's in business, it's not just to just sell every day, but to just bless somebody from it as well. I just give God the glory. I really give God the glory for all this. I will not take the glory for myself, because with God and without my team, it wouldn't be possible. I'm feeling blessed, and I just give God all the glory for that.
Anderson Child Management is funded through the various activities that they do.
We get the funds by selling the child support receipt book. We keep our first fundraising, and we keep our parenting seminar, which we had a donation box. We sell our key rings. We sell our books at that seminars. So, and we are looking into our annual fundraising, annual seminars, and also the book. Our parenting seminar is like a workshop where parents need answers, and they don't know where to turn, they don't know that they can go here and get these answers. So when they come out to these workshops, they realize that there's help, there's hope. You don't have to be struggling to foster your child. You don't have to struggle to tell your child that I love you, because when you come to these parenting seminars, from different organizations, it teaches you how to foster your child, how to protect your child, how to love your child, how to support your child in every means, and how to listen as well to your child. I really want to emphasize on the fathers, for them to really step up and play this major role in their child life or their children's life. Regardless if they are not with the mother anymore, for them to participate in the child PTA meeting, graduation. Remember the child birthday, call the child, say something to the child, say I love you, ask what the child is doing. You know, and when you see fathers making these major steps, I would love for mothers to really support them in doing so. For me, as an upcoming company trying to help parents and to help children, I think that society can do much better. What future plans do I have is to make my book be available island-wide and internationally, and to have our parenting seminar go worldwide to help every parent that need our help. We have plans like going into the children's home. You know, whatever we achieve from these fundraising, we can able to share it among these children in the children's home. We need to go and visit like a lot of homes where, you know, parents are that, you know, maybe haven't seen the child in a long while. United we stand, divided we fall. I'm not looking at it to say I'm a company and I don't want the help of a next company. If we can all put together and make this country a better place, I am willing to do so. I would love for the government to endorse my book by allowing the clerk of court to use it. My books are available, even in Western Union. My books are available. Every crease and corner of every liquor store, it's available. It's available in Sangster's bookstore island-wide. We're hoping that everybody will hear about Anderson Child Management.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We're taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene.
Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad.
Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
Managing a non-profit organization is never an easy task, but Anita has a team that provides the support that is well needed in order to move the organization forward.
I am the team manager for Anderson Child Management, and my role is just to really create and foster ideas to move the company forward and just to really influence the other team members, that is working with us, to work hard at exposing Anderson Child Management. I have known Anita for about 16 years now, right? She is more like a daughter to me, right? I have really mothered her from those times. And as a visionary, she's always creative. And so when she came about with this vision, she came to me, she called me and tell me about it. And we meet and, put ideas together. She was saying, Mama, how can we put this out, to the forefront? And so we sit together and we think, and then we come about a Facebook page. And then we realized that the page was costing a lot to keep up, and so we decided, why not make a Facebook group? And so we made a group, and that is really, it really started pushing off. Persons started recognizing the group and just, really endorsing.
Maureen Allen is very vocal on issues surrounding them. When quizzed on the matter of child abuse, which seems to have become a national epidemic, she had this to say.
It's just so heart-rending to hear some of the things that is really happening, the abuse and the rape and all of that. You know, it's really heart-rending to hear them. And so, you know, even Anderson Child Management coming on board now, we see it as an avenue really to say to parents, don't look on the government to make things better, and don't say the government is not doing enough, right, to curb those abuse, those crime against children. Don't say that. What we need to begin to look on is an individual work. It begins with parents at home. It begins with parents just really listen to your children. Hearing them out, looking on your children, what is going on with them. Because a lot of our children, they are crying out. But parents are otherwise minded with the struggle of life and economic crisis and all of that. Parents are really, you know, focusing on that, and they are not focusing, so the abuse can be there. So it begins with us as parents. It begins with men and women on a whole in Jamaica. And, you know, when we as parents, you know, stand up and begin to listen to our children. And then I was saying, you know, just the other day, is that we get back to that place where the village will grow a child, our children. Not to say that we are looking for persons to abuse your children on the street, but when a village begin to grow your children, we will see eye out for each other children. And even if my neighbor is abusing their children, don't think on what will happen if I talk. Talk, because that's a child. The child is essential. So the village should get back to growing children. Look out not only for your child, but look out for the neighbor child that is being abused. And you see children on the road wandering, don't pass them. Find some means by getting them home or bringing them to the station. But it all depends on individual. Us and parents need to begin to listen and to see.
With these issues in mind, she hopes that they will be recognized for the work that they do.
What we're working at now is to be seen in Jamaica, to be heard of. When you walk in a pharmacy and you see the book, when you see the book anywhere about the place, right? And you begin to buy this book, and you know, we begin to establish this company. Then what I would want the government to do is to endorse it, right? So as long as the book is being used, as long as it's being seen, person talking about the book, then what we want the government to do is endorse this, allow it to be used in the court system. Because when you look at a book as this, right? You keep good record, and this book helps you to reach each other, to bridge that gap where the animosity among single parents is that I don't want to see the daddy or me don't want to see the mommy, but this book would have bridged that gap. Is that meet me halfway, meet me in a park, meet me at Sovereign Center, meet me at Emancipation Park, and let us come together, right? And really listen to your children. Because the father is missing. So if the mother can meet them halfway, and you know, we even want to talk to me, talk to the child or the children. You know, find out what is happening at home, find out what is happening at school, find out things about it. So this company is about to bridge that gap where the whole animosity will be over between parents, because a woman cannot make a child alone. It takes a man as well. So the responsibility is between mother and father. And children need both mother and fathers. They do. With these seminars that we're having, we look at parents supporting these seminars. So for the former one that we have a lot of persons coming in. We have persons coming from children and abuse here. And we have the policemen coming in to talk. We have a lawyer, Mrs. Bartholomew, actually coming in to talk. And we have a number of persons in that seminar coming in just to educate parents on a whole on how to bridge this gap, you know, between single parents, right? So I believe that the seminar is one way that we'll be able to educate them. When they come in, they will be educated on how do I treat my child? How do I reach out more to my child? How do I hear my child crying out? So I believe these seminars that we're having will do that. So my hope and vision is for Anderson Child Management is that we will be known. Not just really saying that, you know, we have a support book going out and all of that, and a few persons know us, but really to be known to Jamaica on a whole.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop, or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we back down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
This is Weekend Business Report. Economic windfall,
unsecured loans,
alleged corruption,
follows the closure.
If they made this investment,
brokers
strive to increase revenues.
These sought some answers.
Financial meltdown.
Here are the week's final. Here's Garth, News Roundup.
Camille, it's back to you.
That's Weekend Business Report with me, Camille Gale, Saturdays and Sundays.
Shan Durkan Willis, a mother of 2, is one of the many people that the organization has helped. For her, it is God sent.
I heard about Anderson's child management from Anita Anderson. You know, when she started this vision, she told me about it, and I thought it was a good vision because we need so much more of this kind of venture for our children. It started helping me by me going to the seminar. It was very informative, and from my experience growing my kids, There was so much I learned from going to the seminar. My vision is this company growing to empower more women like us from a single parent point of view. And we need more motivational speakers like the people that she takes on at the seminars to teach more young women, especially growing young women who's coming from a certain background, you know, who needs help on how to grow their kids. A young lady coming up with this idea and trying to push herself to do it is very motivational for me, because you don't find young people on a whole who come up with these ideas these days. Trust me, you don't. And everybody is thinking about what next to do for themselves, not what to do for other kids. I think in this time and that place that we live in now, if we find more people like Anita Anderson, we will have better household, better families, better society on a whole, because she's trying to make a foundation for these kids. I think single mothers should really go out and get help. Like for instance, Anderson's Child Management, she has these seminars that teaches mothers, whether you're single or together, because even though, no, put it this way, even when you have two parents can be in the house and still destroy the child. You understand? So it's not even single parents alone who needs to get motivational speaking, and I think both parents do, whether you're together or not. When you destroy a child, you destroy an asset to society. An asset. And I say that to say this, because that child that you just killed could have been your same doctor, or your lawyer, or your teacher, or a bus driver, an asset to society. You understand? So I'm saying stop. Think on what we're doing. It's just wrong. I want to just thank Miss Anderson for what she's doing, because this will have a big impact on children in this society. Saying that even my kids, she's a motivator for them. My kids, they love her so much, because let's say she come to my house and visit with the kids, or she call on the phone, my daughter would say, Auntie Anita, I want to talk to Auntie Anita, because she has that spirit for kids. So I just want to thank her that she's a great motivator for our children.
Caring Hands took the opportunity to ask Shan her thoughts on fathers who have neglected their children.
My message to these fathers, knowing that I'm one of those mothers who's having that same kind of problem, is to support your child. One parent cannot grow a child. Put it this way, when you first got together, it wasn't one person. So it's very unfair for a mother alone to grow a child. And then, in the event of it, that child grew up to be a doctor, that same man will come and say, oh, that's my big daughter, that's my big son. It's so wrong. You know, you have to stand up as a man, take up your responsibility, look out for that child, teach them how to love, because even I can tell you, I'm a first-hand experience of a child not having his or her father. There's this lack, you can see it. A mother cannot give a child her father's love. You can only give that child a mother's love. You can only give that child a mother's love. If you have a son, he's going to miss his dad. A girl, she misses her father too. Having the mother alone, something is always missing, and this is where you find the problem come in now when they grow up to be adults and they crave for love from other people, because so that's a problem right there. For us to keep these families together, is the father has to play his part. I believe the father has to play his part.
Her message to those who are abusing children is simple.
Stop. Stop. When you destroy a child, you destroy an asset to society. An asset. And I say that to say this, because that child that you just killed could have been your same doctor, or your lawyer, or your teacher, or a bus driver, an asset to society. You understand? So I'm saying stop. Think on what we're doing. It's just wrong.
For persons who may want to contribute or to volunteer, they may look us up on Facebook at Anderson Child Management Child Support Receipt Book, or Twitter and Instagram. They can also email us at child.management29@gmail.com, or they can contact us at 846-6061 or 432-6402.
Every day you wake up, you have another opportunity to make this little island better, safer, a place where we all can be proud to call home. It's time we all recognize that every little thing we do has an impact on the Jamaica we live in now and the country we're leaving for our children. So promise me this, promise yourself this: no more will we tolerate criminals, even if it's our relatives. Tell them they're doing something wrong. Tell them to stop. Tell them no more robbing our children of the Jamaica they deserve. Tell them no more crime.